Podcast. It's a gaming podcast where we battle our backlog, and even when we're busy, we still find time to game. I'm Shelby Stokes, and with me today, Mr. Casey Cool.
Yo.
And Eric Scott. Hello, gentlemen.
So,
it turns out there's new computers everywhere. You're getting a computer, he's getting a computer, she's getting a computer, they're getting computers. Everyone's getting computers right now.
we're all getting computers. Yes, I got a new computer. Eric got a new computer, and it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful world.
How does it feel? Like does it come with ChatGPT already installed on it, or do you have to go out and get that elsewhere?
I would describe it as feeling like now I have superpowers. that now what I imagine I can do instantaneously. It's really like it's really like time travel in a way that I feel like I now have. So
For sure. I described it to some of the guys because I've been rendering video and how much faster. I went from driving a Camry to a Dodge Viper. It's just all the power. And I'm going to start using it more. But yeah, it's been very nice. And I'm very happy with it.
So, like, any significant upgrades? Like, obviously, it's quicker. You're just like, oh my gosh, the world has changed. Like, is there anything you're just like, yep, this is it. This is why I bought this.
I bought it. That M2 Pro chip is what I got versus the M2 Mac because I'm a dirty Mac user. For everyone that knows,
I know we tried to talk you out of it. Everybody tried to talk you out of it, but still, you decided to take the poison.
Well, then when I showed you the specs and why, you were like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And then Sean was also like, "Yeah, this is good for the editing stuff that we do."
I could tell that when Sean was just like, "Shelby, you're not going to talk him out of this." I was just like, "I give up."
No.
Like I just wait.
Yeah, he knew because if Sean could tell me it's a bad editing computer, he would tell me, and he's like, "It's really good for that." Like, all right. And the other thing, when I told you, I rendered a 2-hour video in 45 seconds and then they exported it in about 8 minutes. I was like, this is great. But the biggest difference for me is my computer was a 2015, my last laptop. This desktop I use is very old, just been kind of mildly updated. I missed that generation and I don't think I had a ton of memory because I guess Streamlabs, for those of you who don't know, runs a ton of memory on yours. So the RAM, I upgraded the RAM. But that generation, it started bogging everything down, kind of. It couldn't handle it. And I think it might be all the stuff I have on it. But yeah, this is nice. Fresh slate. And so I still have the old laptop. We'll see what I do. I want to try to figure out how I can tether all three to make a supercomputer.
I mean, you should be able to do that, right? I mean, just the power of the apple in the sky. You should be able to just tether them all together.
Dude, the new one's like, would you like to use your phone as your webcam? I was like, what? They were already talking to each other. And so I'm thinking about just mounting that behind the TV or behind that. And yeah, I got plans.
Dude, you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be ready to go. Yeah. I mean, it looked like a nice laptop. Casey and I got to hang out this weekend, and he finally delivered on Eric's promise to get a Pokemon card out to our wonderful fans.
And so now it's standard. If you come to my house, or if you sub, and then
you have to sub.
You have to sub. And then I'll invite you over. We'll have a nice dinner, and I'll give you a Pokemon card.
Wait, I was subbed and at your house. Where's my Pokemon card?
We have to pull it on stream.
Yeah, you didn't call a pull, dude. That was why.
Oh shucks.
Yeah,
I mean, not even an energy. You can't even throw a dude an energy. What's up with that?
No free handouts.
Dude, I think my favorite part of visiting with you was talking to your son, and he is like all in the Pokemon game. Like he knows it. He's flexing hard on his Pokemon collection.
Yeah,
I'm highly jealous.
He's fun. He was so excited to show you guys the cards, and he was showing off you guys. Dr. Z was also there, and he goes, last time you were here, you're like, look what I can do, and now you have these fully formed thoughts, and Dr. Z was egging him on, which was my favorite part because. My son would say something, and then it'd be kind of mildly like, "Hey, don't say that," and he'd be like, "I agree with you." Like he would be going. He really liked him. He said, he goes to me the other day, he goes, "Dad, I like your friends. They're nice. They're funny." I go, "Oh, that's good." But he really appreciated you guys just listening to him, and it was nice. And then our daughters got along super well. Your daughter was a baby, and my daughter was. Actually, your daughter wasn't even born yet. Your second daughter, right?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. And Linda's in the chat. Come on in. Welcome. Yeah, no, our little girls hit it off. Like it was kind of scary how well they hit it off.
Yeah, they were playing.
They just disappeared for like a good 90 minutes, and we're like, "Where are they?" Went to the back room. They're just hanging out.
Yeah, kept slamming the door. I'm like, that can't be good.
It was so funny though, because I have 2 girls, right? So like I have my things, and like this is my area. If you're watching on stream, you can see like all my little toys and knickknacks are on the shelf. And I saw a moment where Casey went downstairs and found that his son had played with the Zelda Master Sword, and it was a second like.
Son, but it's his. It's his.
Where's the sword and where's the sheath? Like, I need to know where these items are.
Because like... I don't want to. One, I know I'm going to have to clean it up. 2, I know there's going to be tears if someone can't fight it from him and me. Because it's such a cool toy to have. And I know when he's older, I can put it in the man den, like over the. I have plans, guys. I'm playing the long game.
Over the mantle. Dude, you should just like mount all of your swords. Like, you know, get a Witcher 3 sword after you play and complete that. Okay. You know, yeah, you'll be good to go. We'll build them all. The master swords on there somehow. Guaranteed. Yeah, that's
guaranteed. Okay, what is the top video game weapon you would own? I own 2. Oh, okay, and you know, I think you guys both know my 2 top, but what video game weapons would you want to own?
Video game weapon. All of video games? That's real hard.
All video games. Just 2 weapons.
Sephiroth Masamune.
Oh, the super long katana. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay.
I feel like the Master Sword's pretty high up there. Like
this is one.
I was gonna say Samus's gun. So is it Mega Man or Samus?
This is Mega Man, the Blue Bomber, but you could take Samus's cannon. That'd be
Samus. I would take.
Or do you want her whole suit? Because I think that whole thing is the weapon.
Yeah, no, I mean I would take her whole suit for sure. That visor and those like shoulder pads. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Ball up. Actually, the best. I mean, I know the answer. It just dawned on me. Eric, I'll let you go first, though.
I was going to say a flamethrower. I mean, I know
from any video game.
From any video game where there's a flamethrower. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Okay.
The right answer is a Pokeball.
Oh, we're going Smash Brothers. Is that a weapon? Yeah, man.
I was thinking the Pokemon guys. I thought I got one over on you, but I guess if it's not technically a weapon,
Are you saying you're pro dog fighting? Is that what I'm hearing? If you think animals are weapons
regarding dog fighting, but imaginary Pokemonster fighting, I'm in a conversation. Okay, we're talking about
a lot of things can be a weapon. I mean, a wrench in the hand of a monkey is not a tool; it's a weapon. No. So
Jackie Chan has used a hat as a weapon in a movie. I've seen it. So again, if you put it in the right person's hand. Jackie Chan. Oh my God. It's definitely a weapon.
So total departure of what we're ever supposed to be talking about. But I was like, kids, I need to show you Jackie Chan movies. How come there's not a Jackie Chan collection like ready to go? Like, where is that at?
I know there are, and it's hard because our kids are so young. Yeah. You have to really. He had the animated show, which is hard to find. I think you can get it on iTunes. But there's one called Lost Kingdom, and it's him and Jet Li. It's pretty good.
But I think like the old school when we were growing up. Remember, you'd like rent Jackie Chan at Blockbuster, and then you would like go and fight in the backyard for the next morning.
Or it's like, I'm gonna jump off the roof. Because he did his own stunts. That was the big deal.
I think Bruce Lee though has to be done.
I mean,
the Bruce Lee collection
you only need to show him one Bruce Lee movie. The one where he fights Chuck Norris and rips out his chest hair. That's all they need to see.
Look,
they actually fight. Happened? Yeah. In the second, they fight.
That was Way of the Dragon.
Return of the Dragon.
Was that Way of the Dragon? There's the Big Boss was great though. Big Boss was great. The ice cubes with the cocaine trafficking was awesome. It was super cool.
It's the Way of the Dragon. That's right. Return of the Dragon the one with the mirrors?
I think that's the one with Kareem. I'm not sure though.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm not sure.
Right. Bruce is good, but Jackie Chan movies are just fun, you know.
Dude, Jackie Chan movies are like hilarious, right? Like there's a whole run there in like the mid to late 90s that was just like gold. Like every couple years, he's just coming out and rocking and rolling. Like
Yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, Super Cop.
I mean, Shanghai Noon. I'd put Shanghai Noon up there. Rush Hour was on Netflix, may still be. So check that out.
It's on HBO, all 3.
Oh. Rush Hour is on USA every other time slot, isn't it?
That's USA's best program, dude.
That's what TBS is founded on, is Jackie Chan reruns. Yeah. Jackie Chan reruns and Marvel movies.
And random Murder, She Wrote.
At this point, Rush Hour is going to be on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday. So,
dude, I'd start watching when I'm an old man.
Chris Tucker, did he just like make a ton of money and cash out? Was he like, I made Friday, I made these Jackie Chan movies, I'm done?
Friday, Jackie Chan, and Fifth Element. He's sneaky good in Fifth Element.
Yeah, it's a smart move though. Get out while you're still hot.
Yeah,
that way no one will remember your bad movies.
He does stand up still a little bit, but a bunch of comedians talk about him. They're like, they've heard him talk about Rush Hour 4. There's a list of movies I never buy because they're always on. Yeah, like Rocky. I felt this way that for the longest time. Jaws. If Jaws is on, I'm stopping and watching it. You know, or at any given Sunday, I'm like, okay, let me just see the scene. Rocky's another one of those where it's on TV. So the best used to be TBS used to show all the James Bonds every once in a while, or TNT. Do you remember that?
Do they probably still do, like somewhere? Yeah.
I think Amazon owns James Bond now.
So that's actually my favorite reason, or that's one of my favorite parts of getting a hotel room is I know I can just put on like TBS or HBO and just let it run all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
T2 is always on TV. Is always on TV.
It's always interesting to see what's on.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of TV, The Last of Us, the show, it's pretty good.
Yeah, speaking of HBO, I finally got access to an HBO account. So shout out to that lucky person that's in our Discord family.
Oh, you can ask me for the last 2 years, but okay.
Is that right? Yeah. I have finally watched the first 3 episodes of Last of Us. There are 4 out at the recording of this. There's about to be a 5th out come Friday. This show is really good, guys. It's really good. Like, I know that probably doesn't come as a surprise based on the hoopla that's going on. I find myself watching the show and I'm just shocked how shot for shot it is to the game. Like, it blows my mind. You could literally play out some of those scenes in the game and compare it 1-to-1 to that episode. And it is like seamless. Like, it absolutely blows my mind how closely this follows the game.
That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear, because the game was so deep and so immersive, and
it's a very intense story, right? Like,
yeah. I feel like a lot of times when games are made into shows, they try to divert a little too much and maybe try to become something they're not. It's good to hear that it's really trying to be the game.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I just watched episode 3 before I fell asleep last night. And episode 3 is the first episode to really truly depart from the game story. Like, the first 2 episodes, they were like shot for shot, like, oh, I remember how this plays out. I remember what's going to happen in this building. And they really got the vibe of the game well, or right. So then you get to that 3rd episode and it's a complete departure like from the game. But you watch the end credits afterwards, and the guy that's directing it essentially says on the inside of the episode, he's like, listen, we're going to stick to the game unless we come up with something brilliant that goes far beyond what the game did. And that's the only time we're going to use stuff outside of the game. And it was really like, okay, they respect the source material. Like, how many times have we seen some franchises that borrow from gaming history, and it's like, you're missing it completely. You are
a Mario movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest, like. And I will argue a part of it. Street Fighter is a huge miss on a lot of spots. Okay.
So I mean, I'm loving it. I'm gonna keep watching it. Obviously, like, for the HBO to be like, yo, this has some traction. We're gonna release this on Friday instead of Super Bowl Sunday just to get out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
you can't
props
say
HBO.
That. We gotta bleep that out. Cut the VOD. You can't say the name of the big game.
Oh, you can't?
So when we used to work in radio, I think it probably still applies here. They sue you. They go after you. Like, that's why every commercial you hear calls it the big game.
That is ridiculous.
Is that like
I guess what? Let's find out. Let's find out, I guess, right?
Is that
sorry to give you free advertising, NFL?
I know.
Like, what?
Like, they need it. What, Eric?
Is that like a trademarked phrase?
It's kind of like Pat Riley owning 3P, and I'm crediting him, so hopefully he doesn't sue us either. But
I'm sure he's watching right now.
That old man, he's like, he oddly enough,
Pat Riley is our biggest fan. Stays up late on the East Coast to watch. I assume he's still
alive.
He has coaches in Miami, so I'm assuming it's like close to midnight for him, and he's just an avid listener. So thanks, Pat.
Yeah, he's actually playing like a bunch of the games we recommended to him.
Yeah.
As the president of the Miami Heat. Huge underpower.
Huge. But so before we get too far from The Last of Us, I want to say they get the vibe of the gameplay really well. Like, really, really, really dialed in. It feels like the game on some of those scenes. So props to them.
Cool.
But what I find myself thinking after watching the show is, like, the best part of Last of Us is the story they're telling. and now they're taking that story and turning it into a TV show. So I'm having a point like, if this TV show is truly as good as it is and continues to be that good, is this the better form to experience the story in? And
why can't they be equal?
I don't think the answer is no.
But why is it not equal? I don't think it has to be that. I think it can be equal. Right?
I mean, maybe, but I feel like it really it's really going to force the gameplay of that game to really lift if they're coming from the show and playing the game. Otherwise, you're just playing a shot for shot that kind of fills in some gaps. So I'm
like the combat, I don't think is shot for shot. Right?
So I want to say that it's not even the combat. It's there are moments throughout the game that actually playing the game, being in the moment, being that character, feeling the tension of everything moving around you, having to really be aware of what's going on behind you, movement in another room, having to time everything just right. I think that's what the game, that's where the game really, that's that immersion level of actually being there and actually experiencing that fear yourself and just all of that tension firsthand. And when you make it out of an encounter, it's that little extra bit of relief that you feel as the gamer, having actually sort of taken part in it yourself.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this a couple episodes back when this really got some buzz, but it really feels like it's Joel and Ellie's story rather than my story or me feeling the attention in that moment. Right. But what I will say is that it really puts a spotlight on the gameplay of Last of Us, whereas you kind of just like the combat and gameplay in Last of Us is not my favorite part of that game, right? So it's really putting a spotlight on that gameplay for me. Like, is this a really good way to experience this medium or this story? And I think right now the answer is yes. We'll see where it's at the end of it, but I am very impressed with it and I'm here for it. Like, give it to me. It's amazing.
I also like the Uncharted movie. I thought that was dumb fun, and it's nothing like this. It's you're like, oh cool, it's an action movie, and that's how it should be. I thought it was decent. Like,
listen, you're talking to the guy that loves Marvel. Like, I'm always an action movie. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. I'm glad. I need to finish the first episode, but Vox Machina and a million other projects have kept me busy in the house, like Fire Emblem and other video games.
Tell me more about the Fire Emblem. So last time we talked, you were kind of early in this game, right? You've probably put some more time in now.
About a couple chapters, because I'm getting... So the way I play Fire Emblem, after we've kind of talked through 3 houses, I will do every little thing, not because I'm just so intrigued by the systems on top of systems. And the big thing is they've done a lot. They've gone back to a lot of things. There's a weapon triangle that wasn't really present in 3 houses, where there's this system of axe beats lance, lance beats sword, sword beats axe. There's something they took out of the game that I love is items don't break anymore. And I don't mind it either, but for how you build characters, it's really cool. And then they do the ring thing, right? Where it's the Fire Emblem Engage. And what happens is, depending on how you spec out your character, if you give them a ring of someone who's a caster, it makes them this crazy combo class where, I'm a sword fighter, but guess what? I can use magic now because of my spirit, my patron that I've got here. It's a little bit of the gotcha, or what people like about the phone game, right? But I was talking with Dr. Z about this. Tactical Works lost me because the story is great, but because of triangle strategy and how this game looks, I want to play this because it's so appealing to my eyes. I don't just auto battle the whole time. I'll skip enemy units' turns on battles that aren't story based, if that makes sense. If there's a random mob and I go fight it, I'll watch my turn and then I'll skip the enemy's turn. But if it's
a random mob,
okay. Monster or beast.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I believe that's what mob stands for. Yeah, some random mom,
That's what
Karen's here.
I didn't know the acronyms. Like, can you explain mom to me? Is that monster or madame? Like, what is
monster that? Or madame? Hold on. It's computer control. It's an NPC. I don't know why they call it a mob, just because they are considered to be a mob because of the term of how, like, there's like an angry mob. There's a lot of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's an old WoW term. Eric knows. And
I know. Trust me.
I'm waiting to see which other characters they unlock. I'm trying to figure out the story. The story is super anime, and I'm like, when I see this, because I see 3 emblems, and then I play it, and I'm like, I like the power of friendship. That's great. Let's do it, dude. It's super anime, and I'm all here for it. I think that aside, though, because of how clean it's Fire Emblem, and Fire Emblem as a package is so tight. The battling's so tight, the game's so tight. I'm fully enjoying this. I'm about chapter 10 now. I think there's 26 chapters, and I'm gonna try to hold it out till Octopath, but I have a feeling this week, because of my schedule, I'm about to put in a ton of hours on this bad boy and whip it. I think I could beat it this week. Yeah,
you're going hard on it.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. I mean, when you get it like in your system and you're like, yes, I gotta see this game to completion, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens.
Well, we got Metroidvania March and the Shadows too.
Dude,
I got some plans for that.
I got to start considering what that's going to be. So we got to talk about that. But before we talk any further, you got a new PC or a new game, a new computer.
It's a Mac.
Eric got a new PC, and it also allowed him to sign up for a little thing called Game Pass.
Giggity Game Pass.
I did, and I got this PC because I wanted to play some games. I wanted to have access to as many games as I possibly could. I've been kind of running the console, just trying to figure out what the next move was, and the PC just checked all the boxes, and I signed up for Game Pass. And
is it the greatest thing you've ever done?
It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. And
were you really quick? Sorry to interject. Were you a Blockbuster video game renter as a kid? Would you do that from time to time?
It was maybe on a monthly basis. It wasn't every week. We pretty much just found games and stuck to them. That was kind of our thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Linda in the chat said Game Pass was great for her as well.
Yeah, and there are so many games in here that this is the PC game library.
Let's look at what he's played. You played Elder Scroll Oblivion, which you probably played 100 times. How many hours?
Last played 10 days ago.
Okay.
I played it for probably 30 minutes just to mess with it. Sea of Thieves, I did the intro. Octopath, I'm like 20, 30 minutes in. Hi-Fi Rush, I played it for about an hour. Actually, I want to get back into that.
That's a 6-hour game, so you probably got some damage. I want to know more. Yeah.
Wait, Hi-Fi Rush is only 6 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, I might need to go scrub that. What did you think, Eric? I got into that a little bit too.
It's fun. I want to play. I'm going to play through it. Hi-Fi Rush is cool. It's
stream
a good
that,
game.
Bro. Let's watch that.
I'm not in the. I'm not playing it in the stream mode. There's like a streamer mode and a non-streamer mode where they use licensed and unlicensed music.
You want the
yeah. And then Fallout 76. I
they have
fired up.
Chain Echoes on there too. God.
Dude, there's all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, I mean this is the library. This is everything. Far Cry 5, fantastic game on my game of the year list from last year. Just shameless plug there. Play it for free. It's great. I've never played. I've never played a Halo game.
Oh boy!
Now's my opportunity. I can play. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Shelby, if he only had to play one, which
13?
one should he play?
Dude, I honestly think that there's a lot of reverence for like early Halo games, but I would just say play the most recent game.
Yeah. I'd say play Mass Effect 2. I just saw that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, there's just so many good games in there.
Well, that's just it. Like you go through this list and so many of these games are bangers. And you're like, this one. It's
Eric,
like you start.
Go back. The Yakuza collection right
Dude,
there.
You don't even know.
How come you haven't touched that?
Oh, because
there's
games.
There's 8 Yakuza games down here.
Just play them all.
Oh, I've already played Zero. Zero's great.
Great.
Great. I think Like a Dragon, is that the most recent one?
That's the JRPG one. Shelby played that.
Yeah, I did. I really liked that one. I really liked that one. Yeah, I think what Game Pass did for me is it like changed the equation. Like I'd always say, hey, I need to spend X amount of dollars on this game for it to make sense in terms of like an investment or time spend. And once I got Game Pass, it was just like unlock. Like, no, my time is now more valuable than my money, and I'm gonna figure out how to prioritize these games and what I'm playing. And that was a huge shift in like me as a gamer. It's kind of cool to see, but at the same time, you're like, oh man, now I'm not dedicated to playing through games all the way. Now I feel like you can be an inch deep and a mile wide on them.
Yeah, and you know what? That was my biggest thing is the last number. So many games that I have, like big release games that I've picked up in the last, I would say 5 years or so. Maybe 4 out of 5 let me down, and I'm just not into it. I'm ready to put it down. It's like, well, I've
Pokemon was the only one that didn't let you down. Is that what?
No, no. Games like Avengers when it first came out.
Yeah, that was bad. Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna say Witcher 3. I wasn't feeling that game. I wasn't feeling it.
Shelby loves that game.
God, Shelby, we're not even gonna start comparing games, bro.
Oh, a little bit.
We're not even gonna talk about Divinity Original Sin.
I wasn't going to name it, but
I will.
That's
Witcher 3 is far better than Divinity Original Sin.
You know what?
I believe that.
To be fair, it's a game that I did not feel I would have the patience for the nuances for a lot. Yeah. A lot like the Dark Souls games, Elden Ring. It's just a game that I just personally the type of I don't know if it's skill, the type of
punishing. There's a punishing aspect to those games that people can get turned off.
Which games are we talking about?
Like he's talking Elden Ring and Demon Souls.
Dark Souls.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
But Witcher doesn't punish.
You felt that in Divinity, not in Witcher, though, right?
Divinity, I had no idea what was going on. Divinity was just Divinity was like
worst tutorial in video games.
Yeah, it was.
There's no tutorial. It's supposed to be like D&D. Just go and do whatever you want.
Well, that first island is kind of a tutorial, but it's way too difficult. Like difficulty spikes within the first half an hour, and then
there's too many things that can kill you right away. Clearly, that you don't know. No, I gave that game on a shake.
I didn't like the idea of Game Pass in the sense that I wasn't owning anything, but after experiencing it and having the access and be able to be like, no, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and I can just uninstall it and it's gone. I don't need to own the games that I'm playing. I can basically
own the experience.
Yeah. Oh, sure. That's a very
Microsoft, you can send me the check for that slogan, right?
You know what? As much as I love Game Pass, though, like anytime I go buy a game, I really want a physical copy, and I don't know why. I might be broken as a human, but 9 times out of 10, if I can get a physical, I want it.
If it's a great game, I could get that, sure.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, Eric told me on Saturday before we did our Dice Night stuff, he's like, I think I'm going to stream Octopath, and I waited and waited. And then I see him before our session. He goes, "Yeah, I took a 4-hour nap," and it's like, man,
that could have been time Octopath.
Look, man, those D&D nights, like I do my best.
But I appreciate you saving your energy for it because you brought it on Saturday.
Dude, I drank 2 Red Bulls. I was awake till 3:00 in the morning. So
maybe you just do one next time.
Well. I don't know when you guys. I don't know how late we go. Sometimes you guys are like, let's keep pushing past 11, and I'm like,
I called it at 10:20. I was like, let's go to bed.
I'm like, bro, this stopped being fun at 10.
Eric's brain capacity's fried.
It's like sitting through an epic movie. Like it's sitting through a Lord of the Rings. You really have to be
present.
You have to plan your kind of like your afternoon or your morning around watching it. You need to plan your break, get up, stretch your legs.
Because you can't just watch one of the Lord of the Rings movies. You have to watch them all, right?
It kind of has to be a full day, and it's
you got to watch them all. Exactly.
Well, you're gonna have to. Well, tell me how you're going to do this with your son, because eventually he's going to watch them.
We're going to watch them. It's going to be a Sunday. Dad's going to just need a little. The light's kind of dark, had a, fun time with his friends. We'll sit in our PJs and get some good snacks. And we're going to start at 8 in the morning and be done probably by 8 or 9 at night. call it a day.
Oh man. So I forced my kids to watch Wakanda Forever because it finally came out, and I was very hungover on Saturday morning. So I turned it on and slept through the middle 2 hours of that movie. That movie is like 2 hours and 10 minutes. And when I woke up from the nap, I was like, "You guys aren't even watching this. You don't even care." And they're like, "Dad, you were snoring."
You're like, "Neither did you, Dad. Neither did you." Like, good point.
Hey, better late than never. And
were you able to play some games while you were recovering on the couch?
Well, yeah. Speaking of better late than never,
keep that song up. I like that song. Put that baby back up.
Speaking of better late than never, I finally went back and played the remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Turns out this game is really good, guys. Like, really good. I had never played Link's Awakening prior to this. Like, this is my first time playing this game, and it is beautiful. It is cute. I am addicted. The dungeons are amazing. I can't get enough of this game. I want to be playing it at all hours of the day. I was traveling last week for work. I got into it. And I just I'm at home and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play like 20 minutes. Cut to like a dungeon and a half later, and like I come out of this wonderful game coma, and I'm like, this game is amazing. And I have not believed I slept on it for so long, but I'm here to tell you, like, as somebody that is just playing this for the first time, I am in love with this game.
You know, we did a really great episode with the Nintendo dads where we ranked our top Zeldas. And the Link's Awakening, you know, I thought it was on there. I almost put it, but I put Link Up Past ahead of it because I think because you never played the Super Nintendo one, did you?
Super Nintendo one. Now I'm having trouble remembering which ones I played and which ones I didn't. I think I played a Seasons. I played a Between Worlds.
Between Worlds is the best. Between Worlds is like great. It's top down. This one's art style is so perfect though. It reminds me of those Christmas movies. What's the guy? Bill Bill Ives or whatever. The Rudolph and the
claymation ones from
the 80s. Doesn't that give you those vibes right there?
Definitely. Yeah.
Those are from the 60s.
Oh, really? Jeez,
yeah, some of them
are really old. I have to say, like, I understand why this game is full price. The art and the care to remaking it is great. One thing that I am having issues with, it has that old school jank, like that old school, like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be going, and they're just like, I don't care, wander around until you figure it out. Like, that is definitely present in this title.
Because I asked you, there's a place where you have to find a random bush and cut it and go to the hole, and there's no I think there's maybe a slight suggestion for it, but it's really not clear. So you just have to kind of luck your way into it.
Yeah, and they get this. You get like done with the dungeon, and you walk out, and he's like, "Okay." The owl comes down and says, "Now you got to go to the northeast." And then, but it doesn't tell you that you have to deliver like 4 items to 4 different animals, and it's like a trading quest where you trade a scale for a magnifying glass, and you do like 4 different steps in this quest before you even get the key to access the next dungeon. So they're like better at pointing you in the direction, but it's still not super clear. Like, if this game were to come out tomorrow, you'd just be like, I can't believe they did this. But because it's got that old school feel to it and it's a remake, I think it gets a pass. And if this is not something you've played, I can't recommend this enough.
What is it? My thing was it's $40, which is okay. I think it was more than that at launch. It should have been priced at $40. What did you pay for this?
I think I paid $50.
Do you think it's worth that price point?
Dude, it's a really good Zelda game.
It's a really good Zelda game.
And it's been lasting longer than I thought it would. Like, I honestly thought I would have come and gone off this game before. Is it like a 60-hour game? No. Like, I can't tell you offhand what the time to beat is. I am really enjoying it as somebody that didn't play that old one. I feel like if I were to buy this as a remake, I would be a little disappointed because there's not much new in terms of the storyline or what's happening.
It's beat for beat the same game, but just a cleaner look. How many dungeons, how many instruments you got?
I have 6.
Okay, you're getting close. I think I don't want to spoil. One of the the endings, you're like, oh cool. That's been really the twist in it is great. And I like that, and it sticks up there for me. I get it. Definitely
Yeah, so main story
if you're a Zelda
14
fan, you
hours.
should play it.
Yeah, main story 14 hours, completionist 21 hours. I'm not gonna do 100% on this run, but I mean 14 hours, it's a good traveling game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I have to go out of town again, and I'm kind of like, okay, if I can wait on this, great. If I can't, so be it. I'm gonna have to find another Switch game. So
yeah,
really
There's so
liking
many.
it.
I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, I'm real into it right now. Real into it.
Well, are you into Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Dude, you know I am. Assassin's Creed Valhalla all day.
I want to get into our speculation news network here real quick, if I can. The Grammys were this week. Eric, what did you say? You said something to us about how like a TV or something. I don't remember. I
didn't even realize they were still on TV. I thought people stopped watching the Grammys.
Yeah, that was it. Like, people still watch that?
So award shows. Why do people still watch that crap?
But because of the performance, they want to see Kanye West slap somebody or do something wild.
That was Will Smith.
I know, they want to see it in the music sense, not just the Oscars. So, great thing, video games win Grammys now for their scores, which they should, because there's some killer music. Octopath, for example. This guy, my biggest fear is if I give an award would be to butcher a person's name. Shelby and I always talk about practicing names when we have a guest, and we got to ask them just so we make sure, because you don't want to flub it. Yeah. Right.
And sometimes I still do. Sometimes I still do.
The first time we had Peter or Parker on, she was like, Peter Parker. And I was like, no, dude. And he died because we were like, okay. I'm like, take it again.
So in terms of this news story, Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla wins an award, and this guy goes up to pull the card, and you're now going to hear the audio from that poll, right?
5.5 million views on this clip.
5.5 mil.
Again from the top.
And the Grammy goes to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Valhalla. It sounds like he's saying falafel or he's having a stroke.
Well, that's not even the title of a game. That's like the Viking heaven.
Yeah, Valhalla. It's not like Valhalla is not a word that people haven't heard. So he starts shaking too. When you watch the video, you see his hands start to go, oh no, I can't read this. I don't know what this is.
Oh, poor guy. This is totally something I would do too.
You gotta be like Bill Burr and just be like, who cares? You know, Bill Burr did one for some random like jazz album stuff, and he just butchered it, and he was like, it's whatever.
Or maybe he's like Randy Orton, he can't read.
Dude, and I apologize for my ignorance, but I have no idea who this guy is, but I think it's hilarious that he's gone viral for slaughtering Valhalla. Like, that is awesome. Which is, by the way, a word I cannot spell to save my life, so I feel it. I feel him.
Do you think he's going to get more gigs to, announce things for this? I think if he's smart, he goes on Venmo and he lets people pay him to butcher birth announcements or and announcing their new daughter, Rabaga Smythe.
I think he's going to have a little bit of a rough going until the next major public. Probably. Well, there will probably be a major name mispronunciation at the Super Bowl that will completely overshadow him, and he'll just be no one will remember him.
Yeah.
It's like John.
He'll fade into obscurity.
Again. Oh yeah, with the frozen lady. I forgot about that.
Well done, Linda. Well done. Good poll. Good poll.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So, that's too bad. In other news, the internet is losing its mind over Hogwarts Legacy. And one thing that I want to mention here is, as we're talking about this, it's on every Twitch channel. I am seeing it all over Shorts. I'm seeing it all over Lives. And it just recently broke the record for the most streamed game at one time, just beating out Cyberpunk 2077. So a lot of hype going on there. I think we're remiss not to mention that the Wizards are happening right now, and the internet's real excited about it. It reminds me of when Pokemon came out. Remember how Pokemon took over the world and everyone was talking about it?
But people were nice about it. Yeah, no, that's the only difference.
No, I've looked at it. Seems to be a game that's getting a lot of attention because it's a really good looking game, and a lot of people are saying it looks good, it plays good. it's a game that I'm looking forward to playing and getting into because I read the books, I watched the movies, I read them, when I was a kid, still going to school. So, you kind of were in that sort of state of mind where it was somewhat relatable back in the day. Yeah, it was relatable back in the day. So, if you're a fan of the franchise, I think this is going to be right up your alley. I think this is going to be, giving you everything that you've asked for. And
I think so too. And like, there's a story that we pulled to kind of talk about today, and it's from GameSpot, and it's basically a roundup from the reviews around the web. And like, it's posting really high reviews. Like, we're seeing 9s, we're seeing like high 4 out of 5s, 4.5 out of 5s.
GameStop hasn't. I don't think GameSpot's put up a review. They're kind of being weird about that. Well, not weird. They're trying to make a stance. There's drama is behind it, and that's what kills it for me, right? Like drama.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be about the drama. It should be,
And like, because, full disclosure to our listeners, we almost didn't bring it up. Like, we were chatting in a chat prior to this. Like, do we even talk about this because of all the toxicity around it on the internet? And like, we just want to stay back from it and kind of say, is the game good? Like, that's always been what this channel has been about.
Yeah.
Like, is this game worth your time? Does this stand alone as a game?
Yeah.
And I think the internet or like the reviews look positive, and I just feel like it's worth saying because everybody is talking about this title right now, and for us to be a gaming franchise and not mention it,
and we'll talk about it if one of us plays it, and someone will for sure, because we have to know, because it's getting a lot of things. But also, people calling it the Wizard game because they're afraid to say Hogwarts Legacy. The irony of it all, because they don't want to give it power, If I say you can't say his name, you cannot. That seems really oddly familiar.
Before.
Have you played that Wizard game? You can't say it. I think. Okay. All right. Yeah, man.
No,
that irony is not lost on me. That's like my one takeaway from people. I'm like, what? Okay. It'll be interesting. I saw someone though comparing the Magic and Dragon's Dogma to it, and I was like, maybe I should fire up Dragon's Dogma again.
Yeah, oh man, and that's a game that I never dove into. If they come out with another Dragon's Dogma,
they're making it too.
Like I might have to check it out. Linda's like, are you going to stream that game? Maybe. I don't know if we get brave enough. We'll see.
Look,
actually, here's the thing: if anybody does it, it should be Eric and you together, because Eric will troll back and be like, "Oh, hi there, friend." Eric, you should just go full Finn and Blackheart and be like, what? I don't know.
No, man. No, look, I could stream Call of Duty and just have, it will basically just be, repeated mass murder of people with high caliber weapons over and over, and no one would bat an eye. So I don't care. No. I might stream it. It doesn't matter.
It's all in the up and up. We might, who knows? It definitely has a moment in the zeitgeist right now, but we'll keep you posted.
Historically, people that put people on lists aren't really nice people, from what I found when I got this record. So, I
have a little bit of a list here. As mentioned, just came back from out of town. I'm playing Link's Awakening. I'm on the second to last dungeon. I need a new Switch game, folks. Like, I need something. So I got
we got Metroidvania March coming up. We're talking about that, right?
Atari 50, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. What should I
like? Pokemon Scarlet.
I do.
Or Violet.
I was also looking at Pokemon. So is the answer Arceus, or is it Silver or Violet or
Pokemon Silver? I would actually love that. Get a gameplay advance.
No, that Pokemon Silver. Yeah, pull out Pokemon Silver. Stream that. If you could do that, I would. I don't know.
Sick, bro.
I don't know how that game.
Silver's a great game. I will say. Scarlet and Violet would be cool. You could do the right, but here's the thing. I don't know. We talk about you're not really interested in competitive. I don't think shiny hunting would be it for you. And obviously, Pokemon games never lose the price down. I think you'd be in that niche where it's like Arceus is way cooler to you, because Scarlet is just more if you want something different, I would say that. I say you do Fire Emblem Engage.
Linda says Arceus for road trips, and that's what this is.
I think she's right. To be honest, Eric.
In terms of, I think you'd have more fun with Arceus. I think you'd enjoy that one a little bit more.
The selfishness in me wants you to play the game with us, but we know you're not going to raid or care about that. If you want a better experience,
are you guys still raiding? Aren't you guys just doing Pokemon Go?
No, there's raids in Scarlet and Violet. Like I'm going to help Eric get Greninja this week.
Yeah,
with the poison ability.
Yeah, which I'll have to talk about that on Thursday.
Thursday. Oh, that's a plug.
Yeah, Thursday. Pokemon.
Shameless plug. No, I think Arceus is still the superior single player experience.
Okay.
I think it still is the for a little bit more of the older gamer too.
Yeah.
I think the catching system, like I was,
it's super
Casey,
cool. I really wanted the catching system to be that in Scarlet and Violet, and that was my biggest disappointment.
But my issue with the catching system is I think it removes some sort of baseline. It raises the floor of the accessibility of Pokemon. You can't I think a younger child could pick up Scarlet and Violet and have a good time with the game and not be hung up on any of the mechanics. I think Arceus with the catching mechanic, a younger child, a younger gamer not having the dexterity with the with the two thumbs, they're going to get hung up on the catching mechanic.
Yeah, I agree. That happened with my son initially because he wanted him. Arceus for road trips. If you're thinking about a Pokemon game, I don't know what else I could recommend for a Switch game for you. I know there's about to be an announcement though as we move to our final segment. Nintendo Direct predictions. So tomorrow, Nintendo Direct. People have been hyping this up on the interwebs for a little bit now. I know Shelby's got that pulled up. Let me show this one thing. We're gonna do a little game. This is from Rebecca Stone. She's on Force. She has a couple shows, Gamer Shack, that she's great on Twitter. And they did a thing where it's a Nintendo. We're gonna do the same thing. I wanted to give her the cred though. Nintendo Direct prediction, realistic wish, and never gonna happen wish. So things we're gonna make these guesses on our and I think they said it's airing tomorrow 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time. So what's your prediction for tomorrow? What do you think we're gonna see? Who wants to start?
I mean, I can start. I think that obviously Zelda, right? This is going to be a full Zelda Direct. Like they are going to come out with all things Zelda all the time, more gameplay probably. Beyond that, I don't know. Are they do they even have to say anything else besides Zelda? Like, is that going to be the temple at the end? Probably. Anything before that is probably going to be gravy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I might make maybe it's a bolder prediction, but
okay, that's good.
I think we might get a little bit of taste of news. What is it? The Switch 2? We might get some Switch 2 news.
Okay.
I will make a little bit of a bold prediction.
Okay. Here's mine. They're going to drop the Octopath 2 trailer demo tomorrow, so you can go play the first, because that's what they did with the last game, that you could play the first 3 hours for free, and then you could carry over your demo save to your main file to get more people to play. The game comes out on the 24th, so 14 more days. Or no, not 14. 18 more days or 6. I'm bad at math all of a sudden. Oh no, 24 minus 7. Yeah, it's 17. 17. What am I doing? I had to say it out loud. 17 more days.
Those are football score numbers. Those should be easy.
I know. That should have been way easier for me.
Come on.
I was like, wait, it's just sevens. And I think that's my prediction. We're going to get an Octopath 2 demo that you can play tomorrow.
Then you'd be playing that. Like, forget about Engage. You're going to have to play the first
You'll never see me again. No, the big thing in chat, I want people, if you come into our Discord, I'm trying to figure out which character I'm going to start with. And I think for me, it comes down to every character has a theme song. So the Octopath has killer tracks, and the new soundtracks is amazing. Dude,
can you just shuffle them and then just choose based solely on the soundtrack? Because that seems like fun.
That's kind of what I was doing because of the one song. I'll play it for you later, or I'll go put it in chat and tell you which track to listen to here. Okay.
No, that sounds good. So okay, so we did prediction. Now is it never going to happen or wish?
Now it's realistic wish. This is a wish, like something you wish for is a realistic thing to ask for. Realistic wish.
I'd love to see the Scarlet and Violet DLC.
Oh, that's realistic, and I like it.
Realistic.
Yeah.
What do you want the DLC to be?
What I want it to be and what it's going to be are two different things.
Yeah,
I think everyone is. I think most people are almost certain it's going to be the Kanto region.
Kalos.
Or Kalos?
Kalos, where Greninja and them are from?
No, Kanto.
I've heard Kalos because this is Spain and Kalos is France.
I thought is it Kalos, Kanto? One of them borders the other one, so maybe it is
Kalos. Kalos borders this one. Kanto is red and blue.
Yeah, I know it's red and blue. That's why I was maybe a little more excited.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
I mean, no, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, the DLC, either way, there's a big portion of the map that needs to be uncovered. The Scarlet and Violet DLC brought a lot of cool legendaries, so I'm really hopeful with what the DLC. It's going to be announced at some point. It's going to be put in the game. It's just a matter of when. So,
Eric, I really like that pick. I actually want to present something to you. This is an award.
Leaks.
No, in our Discord.
them.
Present them. In our Discord, someone posted this from Pokemon Cast, a super effective podcast, SBJ, who was one of our very first guests on our show. Look at where Scarlet and Silver is, or Scarlet and Violet. I did it now too. Shelby, you broke me. Scarlet and Violet is at 17.67 million. And I think with the expansion, it will easily pass Sword and Shield. It might pass Red and Green and Blue. It might pass the OG.
Wow.
I think I predict it probably does.
Nothing has outsold Red and Blue
in terms of the history of Pokemon.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's other games.
That's crazy, right? Like nothing's done better than Red and Blue. Is that
Red and Blue when they came on the market? Look at 1996 to 1999. So it's been around the longest, and then they relaunched it and did a lot of things. But that was a phenomenon too at that time. Red and Blue.
I think it goes up, and just based on that, you look at Sword and Shield ending at 25 million. So we're less than 6 months into the life of Scarlet and Violet. I can see it easily picking up another 5 million. It's a game that the tough thing about Pokemon is you really can't replay it. You've got your one file. So at some point, I want to replay the story. I want to replay the story in Sword and Shield. I thought Sword and Shield was a fantastic game to play through, and I'm probably going to pick up a copy or download a copy of Shield, just as I'm probably at some point going to download a copy of Violet because I'm going to want to do it, and a lot of people are probably going to have the same idea.
Yeah. The other thing too is now with how accounts work, my son has an account on my Switch. I have an account. I could take his Violet and put it on my Switch and under my avatar play it, right? And it's a brand new game, so it saves the file separate. I've had that thought too. I kind of want to get the new laptop if we can get streaming this summer and do a Violet Nuzlocke. I think that would be kind of fun.
Oh, there you go.
That's a pretty solid realistic wish. Shelby, what's your realistic wish?
I don't know if this is realistic or never going to happen, but I want to see some Prime, baby. Give me that Metroid Prime magic.
Oh, yeah, that's realistic.
If they were to say, hey, Metroid Prime coming out this year, Metroid Prime 4, I would just be like, yes.
Would you want a Prime remastered?
I always want the new, man. I don't normally go for the remasters. Like, I'm really enjoying Link's Awakening. Like, big ups to that. But it's my first time playing through it. Like, Dead Space is one of my top games of all time, and I'm not going to go play that remake.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a remake does less for me than normal, but having it in one package on Switch, I could see going back to that being a good time.
Yeah, that's good. My realistic wish, I was thinking about this, and I kind of like never got, I think it is going to happen, but my realistic wish is Capcom shows a new Mega Man. There was a Capcom leak a while back. They've had Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is still doing great, but people have been begging for a Mega Man. Mega Man 11 was awesome. I would love a Mega Man Legends remake or something like that. So that would be my big big realistic wish. I could see Capcom like, hey, we made something new. That's my pick. Look at the dog. What are you excited about back there? But
oh man, that great tunes. I love Mega Man.
Mega Man's music's
awesome
one of the
tunes.
killers. Yeah.
Awesome tunes.
I would love to just see it. I think it's time. They just did the Battle Network collection, and yeah. I think that my other realistic wish is a shadow drop of Silk Song or Advance 4 1 and 2.
Dude, a shadow drop of Silk Song
out today
that would make sense. Like,
that's the best kind of releases, dude.
Dude,
the Hi-Fi Rush.
That game has been in the oven for so long. Like, it's ready to come out. It's ready to come out.
Yeah, that baby's been held too long. We need to get the C-section going. But that was my okay. So, what's your never gonna happen like biggest? If you could wave the wand.
For me, I'll go first. Eric kind of already mentioned it, but I think that if they were to launch a Nintendo console alongside the new Zelda game, it would never happen, but boy, would it be cool. Like, if they were just to be like, hey, new Switch hardware, call it Switch 2, call it
Super Switch. I've been saying it. It's right there. Super Switch.
Sandwich, call it whatever.
Give me the Hori Joy pads that are basically the game controller split in half. I want that.
Linda, I think I'm going to clip that later. I'm glad you enjoyed that too. I'll tell you guys later. So yes, I think that if they were to drop something alongside Zelda, there's somebody that I work with that's like, look, they drop new consoles with Zelda titles all the time. So there's a way that they could do. And I'm like, I think you're crazy, but I would be so on board if they did that. And I think that's where we're at.
Would you buy it day one?
How about the Switch day one?
There you go. I'd have to. Then I could give my daughter my old Switch, and then they'd all have one in the house. Eric, what's your wildest wish?
Oh prediction? Man, this is one I know I've said this to you, Casey. Pokemon Legends Rayquaza.
Okay, so like a
Hoenn. Like a Gen 3,
Arceus.
like a Gen 3. You bring back the original 3 stars.
I think you got to keep it and pull random ones if you do it. You can do one.
No, you got to go with all 3, but they've got to be like different off typings. Like,
no.
Is this is that the fighting game? Is that what we're talking about?
No. He's talking another version of Arceus, but it's a different. It's Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire's world, which is the one with all the water and ocean.
Which has been not. It's been widely debated, but mostly agreed upon in the Pokemon community as the best generation is the 3rd gen. So yeah, you can disagree, Casey, on your end, but the community itself seems to think that Gen 3 is the superior generation. So. The best legendaries, the best starter trio. I love the region. Casey thinks it's mid.
I think it's okay. It's good. It's better than mid. It's solid, dude. So great, like you said, great starters, great thing. The water becomes a little too much, but if they did do something with the Legends Rayquaza, and you could go under the water with your Pokemon and do some deep sea diving hunting, that'd be so cool.
You take everything they did with Arceus. And you make certain things a little bit better. You add maybe that extra feature, being able to go to. I think you have to go into space, though. I think space is an absolute must. That is what actually not underwater, out into space. So that would be my my Make-A-Wish. Please. Probably never going to happen, but
okay. I don't know what my Make-A-Wish is.
What's your Make-A-Wish?
My Make-A-Wish, like me, just it's John Cena. He has the highest Make-A-Wish thing. I don't know if you guys.
John Cena on the podcast.
On the podcast. Come on, Make-A-Wish. I think this would be one that I know is not going to happen, but if they made a 2D HD remake of Chrono Trigger. Give it that Octopath. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That just would get so many people back into the beauty of that game. People have been clamoring for it. They're doing it with Dragon Quest II. And what people are like, yeah, that's cool. But do that with this. And just make it today. I would love that. That would be my biggest, like, not gonna happen. They would have been teasing it. So yeah, that's that for me.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, for them to do a 2:00 direct, they normally do them earlier in the day, right? Do you think?
Yeah, they used to be like 7 in the morning. I don't know. I mean,
for them to do it at 2 p.m. is just like, whoa, what are we doing? Are we going to be popping bottles later? Like, what are we doing so late in the day?
The other verbiage was it's for the first half of, these are games coming out in the first half of 2023. And some of the dialogue on the Twitter last week was like, they don't have anything in the second half. You know, they're buckling down. And I don't know about that. I think they're going to show something now, and then they'll do another thing in June. And that's just going to be our 2 directs for the year.
Yeah,
and maybe one in September. They did another one in September.
Nintendo's going to be just fine. Like, they sold the heck out of their hardware. Like, they have a wonderful like port device going on where you can put things in your pocket and make it easy. I know, like, there's a whole crowd that's into the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck is still not as user friendly as the Switch, and they don't have to make moves right now, and that's totally cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't think Zelda's ready, they're going to put that thing back in the oven and say, "Hey, we're going to let it cook some longer."
Better not. I would break. You'll hear me swearing from my house.
Nintendo Direct, Tears of the Casey.
Tears of rage. It's supposed to come out on my son's birthday. I have plans with him already.
I have plans to play hooky with my son and play Zelda.
I would not play hooky, sir. That is illegal. I'll take a personal day.
Okay, deal. We're having a mental health day, and that is perfectly fine nowadays.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I mean, is there anything else that we want to cover before we head out? I know that Eric has a big show planned, right?
What was that?
It's not a big show. It's just, I don't know. Well, big show, another show. I mean, are all of my shows big shows?
Eric is the big show.
The big show.
The big show.
I know.
The Underpowered Pokemon Hour will be back on Thursday, and I have a 6-pack lined up for Thursday. Good old fashioned 6-pack, where the stakes are the highest, because we're only opening 6-pack of cards. Usually we go by volume, but we're going to be going based on just you walk up. It's like walking up to the table, walking up to the what's the red or black? Not
black,
roulette.
Roulette.
Yeah.
Is it roulette?
Mm-hmm.
Just put it all on one. Let's let it roll. So yeah, we're bringing the 6-pack back. I'm going to be playing some more TCG Live. Actually, I'm going to be playing a little bit more TCG Live this time, and maybe some other stuff thrown in there.
So you're just waiting for more RAM, right, before you stream Pokemon?
I haven't even tested it yet to see if that's something I need to do. So
when let's get a timeline. When do you think will be the first time you stream Pokemon Violet?
Well, probably sometime next month. This month, next month. I don't know.
Dude, Casey is thirsty. He's like,
I want to watch it. Dude, him shiny hunting, he has the dumbest luck in the world. So he'll be like, I'm going to try to do this thing, and then he'll get 20 of them. I know how it works for him. I'm like, all right, you know.
Oh man, it was the shiny Gyarados that was the killer one for me. I just out there on the beach. I was like, oh, I'm just out here, amongst this breakout of Gyarados, and I turn around. There's literally a giant red Gyarados right behind me. Oh, well, that just makes it so easy.
He sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh, well, thank you. Welcome to my collection.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
What about you, Shelby? You got anything you're doing?
I don't. I'm going out of town this week. It's been a crazy week thus far, and traveling a little bit more. So I'd love to say I'd hop on here in some streams, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to try to pick up Harry Potter next weekend. Next week. Hopefully it continues to get good reviews, but I'm feeling pretty excited about that. Mm-hmm. And I have to get back into Fortnite because Witcher 3 has the quest.
Oh, you're going to get that skin? All right, we're going to run some squads and go back to our undefeated team. Every time we play together, we've never lost.
Dude, this is true. Maybe next Tuesday we should set something up. I know that. So I guess that's worth mentioning, right? Next week,
Monday.
We are Monday, not Tuesday.
Yeah. And I don't want to say it because if something happens, but we're very excited for that guest. We'll announce that on our Twitter. Very big interview, one of our biggest interviews we've ever gotten. And then
it's going to
Tuesday,
be Monday at 5:30.
Monday at 5:30 PST. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you
want to watch it live, it'll be on the podcast feed if you're listening to the audio version too. Obviously.
Right. But if you want to be there live, feel free to join us. It's going to be 5:30 on Monday. I know it's not a normal time for us, but hey, we're making things happen.
And we might have one that Friday. I need to talk to you about that too. So we gotta talk about that off air, everybody.
Next Friday. Let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
let's talk.
We can maybe
that.
move it to. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. One of these weekends I fly out of town again, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay.
Well, more Switch time. More Switch
time. More Switch time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. All right.
I guess that's it, right? I
guess so. I guess we're Linda. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
Phil, I saw you were up there as well. Thanks for hanging out with us, being part of our community. We appreciate it. And if you want more of us, you can feel free to follow us on the social channels in the attached description. We're on Discord. You can follow us on the audio version. If you would be so kind, 5 stars, please. That is a night for a night. We are wrapped for this week. We're out.
Play your games.
Bye.